Without a doubt, Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne were instrumental for Manchester City in their English Premier League, UEFA Champions League and UEFA Super Cup victories. These outstanding achievements place them among the favourites to win the greatest individual prize in club football, the Ballon d'Or. However, there's one player who's going to give the youngsters a good run for their money, and that man is none other than the great Lionel Messi. That being said, here's why Messi has a 99.9% chance of winning his 8th Ballon d'Or. Now, the whole who's going to win debate began after Erling Haaland outscored every other player in England and Europe to win both the domestic and continental titles. He was the new kid on the block who took the EPL by storm, and his goal-scoring form was one that could be compared to the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo and, well, Messi. As for Kevin De Bruyne, his season-long brilliance in the midfield set up many goals for his teammates and even for himself. And while the EPL and UCL are titles every footballer in the world would like to win, there is one special trophy that only the gods of football can ever lay their hands on, and that's the FIFA World Cup. The most recent edition was in December 2022, and Messi staked his claim as the greatest of them all. By doing so, all eyes shifted back to the legendary Argentine player as a strong contender for the 2023 Ballon d'Or, which he has already won a record 7 times. No footballer on earth can argue that the World Cup isn't the most important prize in the sport. It's the stuff only the greatest players ever get the honour of lifting, and success at the tournament can immortalise every member of the winning team. Messi's legendary 2022 World Cup win was just like a fairy tale. The ex-Barcelona star had tried 4 times in the past to lift the trophy, but failed. The most painful of them was undoubtedly the 2014 World Cup final, where Germany piped Messi's Argentina 1-0 to lift the prize. Thankfully for the soccer god, he finally led his team to the promised land in 2022 and had his dream come true. As for his major Ballon d'Or rival, Erling Haaland, his country Norway didn't even qualify for the tournament, and that will, in more ways than one, duck his points when considerations are being made for who should win the Ballon d'Or. Kevin De Bruyne fared better than his Manchester City teammate in this regard. At least he helped Belgium qualify for the biggest sports event in the world. However, he couldn't inspire them to any noteworthy performance. Belgium were booted out as fast as they had qualified. Now, based on his World Cup win alone, Messi has a strong edge over his challengers to steal the 2023 Ballon d'Or in October. Of course, there are many players who have been part of a World Cup winning team. However, not all of them were necessarily responsible for inspiring their teams to victory. This is not the case for Messi, as this is where he scores extra points as the favourite to win the 2023 Ballon d'Or. At the time of the tournament, Messi was 35 years old, and everyone thought his career was coming to an end. However, he played like he was a 20-year-old still loaded with energy. Messi was dribbling, assisting, and scoring goals that would lead Argentina to the final. He was without a doubt the most influential player on his team, and the passion he displayed on the pitch game after game was a clear indication that he wanted to win the trophy more than anyone else. And whenever a game starts getting too hot to handle, he'd be the one to step up and make things happen. Throughout the 2022-23 season, across Europe's biggest leagues, no single player, including Haaland and De Bruyne, showed that sort of passion and winning mindset for their teams the way Messi did for Argentina at the World Cup. His world-class performances could not be overlooked, and it came as no surprise when he was given the Player of the Tournament award. Now, some would argue player performances in club football should not be overlooked. I agree, but you still won't find Messi at fault in that department. At 35, the Argentine captain put up a very strong showing for Paris Saint-Germain in the 2022-23 season, and while it's true that his team were knocked out of the UEFA Champions League earlier than he would have cared for, Messi still showed everyone why he was one of the best attacking players in the world. He scored a whopping 38 goals in all competitions. But that's not all, as he was also making sure his teammates got on the score sheet too, and he did that by delivering a total of 25 assists. This means Messi was directly involved in a total of 63 PSG goals last season, and that is absolutely remarkable. His efforts helped the Parisians win the French League 1 as usual, and while he didn't score as many goals as Haaland last season, you could also argue that Haaland isn't as old as Messi either. Speaking of Haaland, he did himself a great injustice as far as winning the Ballon d'Or is concerned by not turning up for the big games. Not that he wasn't physically present on the pitch, but there were instances where the Norwegian was a total no-show. Sure, he banged in goals against the smaller teams in the UEFA Champions League, but he was just too silent from the quarter-final stages upwards. The same can be said of his performance in the FA Cup, as he was delivering the goods in the earlier rounds, but failed to deliver for City in the final against Manchester United, who are the team's most bitter rivals. Sure, Man City still picked up the trophy, but imagine Haaland scoring one of his spectacular goals in such a high-profile match. Imagine scoring in the Champions League final against Inter Milan, just as Messi banged in a couple of goals in the World Cup final against Kylian Mbappe's France. These would have shot up his points in the race for the 2023 Ballon d'Or, and this is where Messi still holds the edge over the Norwegian. Now, if you think turning up in high-profile matches holds no weight in this debate, then ask yourself why Haaland's Man City teammate Rodri who didn't score as many goals as him, won the Champions League Player of the Season award. Speaking of teammates, the boys playing on the blue side of Manchester were instrumental in Haaland's 52-goal haul last season. This takes nothing away from his quality as a finisher, but it does say a great deal about how much he is dependent on his teammates for success. If his teammates play well, he scores. If they don't play well, he barely gets a sniff of the goal. The same cannot be said of Lionel Messi, because unlike Haaland, who feeds off his teammates, Messi's teammates feed off him. The Inter Miami star literally carried the Argentine squad on his shoulders and guided them on the pitch every step of the way. He was a true captain who not only exhibited great leadership qualities, but also used his talent on the ball to inspire his teammates to play better. Messi's contributions to his World Cup winning team from the defence, the midfield, to the opposition goal was a true display of work ethic. He covered practically every blade of grass on the pitch, and his possession play meant his teammates had less work to do. He scores one over Haaland in this regard, as the Norwegian mainly played the role of a finisher, not a creator. But let's move away from Haaland and talk about other players who might seem worthy of contention. And who else could it be other than Messi's greatest footballing rival, Cristiano Ronaldo? For about 15 years, the battle for the Ballon d'Or has always been between Messi and Ronaldo. In fact, Luka Modric and Karim Benzema are the only other players to have won the prize during Ronaldo's and Messi's dominance. However, the Portuguese captain has fallen off the pecking order since moving to Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia. And while he's still turning in the hat-tricks for his new side, the Saudi Arabian League is nowhere close to the big leagues in Europe, where only the best players play. Ronaldo didn't win the World Cup either. He even left the pitch unceremoniously after his side was shocked in the quarter-finals by Morocco. That being said, don't expect to hear CR7's name called out as the 2023 Ballon d'Or winner. One name you can expect to be called out loud is Lionel Messi, because apart from his strong season with PSG and his World Cup win, he's currently on fire for his new team Inter Miami, who he has already inspired to win their first ever trophy by scoring 10 goals in his first 7 matches. So guys, who do you think will win the 2023 Ballon d'Or and why? Let's have your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.